We're in a series on the 8 habits of highly significant leaders. Today, I'm going to talk about habit number 4, which is utilize the power of commitments. Now, can I confess something to you? I'm insecure. I get nervous sometimes before making videos like these. I for sure get anxious before speaking, whether virtually or live or in person. I have insecurities that a lot of times I don't show externally. And my guess is that if you took the time to really look deep down inside of yourself as a leader, you're insecure as well. So, how do we grow in our insecurities? How do we develop self confidence? Well, one, and I talked about this in habit number 2, is we focus on our strengths. We focus on refining our strengths. That's how you can gain confidence. On the flip side, people lose confidence when they focus too much on their weaknesses. Secondly, we utilize the power of commitments. So, research has shown, and I think this is so fascinating, that when we make a commitment to ourselves and we don't do it, over time, we lose self-confidence. We start having doubt. So I'll give you an example. Something as simple as waking up on time to your alarm, not hitting the snooze button. If you consistently hit the snooze button, so you want to wake up at 6, but you wake up at 7 o'clock consistently, you will begin to lose confidence in yourself. That self-doubt will creep in over time. And the problem is that this is so powerful that eventually that will creep in to other areas of life. That will creep into your professional life. That will creep into your leadership. You will begin to lack confidence in your leadership ability by something as simple as waking up to your alarm. But on the flip side, and this is where we can harness that power, when we choose to make a commitment and we keep it, like I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock when I set my alarm. Again, over time, that will influence, that will permeate into other areas of our life. That will influence our leadership. And we can grow in confidence as a leader by something as simple as waking up to our alarm when we say we're going to wake up. Okay, so here's our game plan then, knowing this. I want to give you 5 commitment starters. I want to give you 5 habits that if you consistently develop these habits over time, not only will you gain confidence in yourself, but they will help you become a better leader. These are what Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit, calls keystone habits. They are foundational to growth and development and excellence. So here are our commitment starters. Number 1, and I already said this, wake up when you say you're going to set your alarm, when you want to wake up. So for me, I set my alarm for 5 o'clock. I do hit the snooze button, but only for 5 minutes. I have another alarm that goes off at 5:05, and I get up on time. Secondly, make your bed. Many of you probably have heard of the crazy stats when it comes to people who make their bed. So let me give you a couple of. First off, you have a greater sense of well-being. You have increased productivity just by simply making your bed consistently. And then here's the one that blows my mind. People who make their bed consistently, research has shown, they have better budgeting skills. I don't know why, but that's what happens when you make your bed consistently. Third, and this is not going to surprise anybody, exercise regularly. Exercise at least 3 times a week. When you exercise regularly, you start naturally just eating better because you're exercising. You have more patience. You have less stress. And then hear this again, you have an increase in productivity. So if you make your bed and you exercise consistently, you are increasing your productivity. Third, meditate regularly. There's been a lot of research lately on the benefits of meditation. Sarah Lazar from Harvard University, she conducted a study, and here's what she found from people who meditate regularly. First off, there's an increase in gray matter in the prefrontal cortex. So that's where we have our self-discipline, our willpower, and our focus. There's also an increase in gray matter in the hippocampus. This is the part of the brain where we get learning, where we get memory, and it helps regulate your emotions. And then we also have an increase in the temporal parietal junction. And this is where we get perspective, empathy, and compassion. But what also was found is that there's a decrease in gray matter in your amygdala, which is responsible for your fight or flight response. So when you meditate, it decreases your stress and anxiety. So meditating consistently, it helps your brain perform better. Number 4 of our commitment starters, or number 5, plan your day. So research that was published in the British Journal of Health and Psychology, what they found is that your success rate in following through on a project, when you write down, when you plan this out first, goes from 31% to 91%. You want a 90% success rate on completing your project? Simply write down the goals, plan it out ahead of time, and you'll have a 90% success rate. For me, the way I do this is at the end of my day, I look at my calendar for the next day, and then I write out my big 3. I write out the top 3 most important projects or tasks that I want to accomplish. So if you want to grow in confidence, if you want to develop your leadership skills, start with these 5 habits. Wake up when you set your alarm. Make your bed. Exercise at least 3 times a week. Meditate. And then plan your day. Let me leave you with our Treatable Lessons by Stephen Covey. The power to make and keep commitments to ourselves is the essence of developing the basic habits of effectiveness.